anyway, let's welcome Bob Novak of Nova Filters.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Hey, Bob, how you doing, buddy?
Great. Thanks for having me.
Hey, let me ask you a question real quick. It's just at the top of my list here. I just think it's an important question. It's probably got 101 answers, but why do we need a filter in our houses here?
Well, you have two things going on primarily. You have a lot of chlorine in the water. You have a lot of sediment in the water. Sediment is a nice word for dirt that's free floating in the water. And you have a lot of other impurities. The Villages also has a certain level of hard water. It's different in the northern part and the southern part. But the water here, I mean, it actually meets the FDA requirements, so we wouldn't have it at our tap, but it doesn't really meet requirements if you really delve into it and look what's in the water. The filter, as you've already said, really helps the taste, the drinkability of the water in general.
The filter you have, at least in my house anyway, you got three of them. Now, it's three different types of filters that do three different types of jobs, right?
Well, what the triple whole house filter is what's called a sequential step down in filtration size. Now, what that means in English is the first filter is taking out large particles, and the second one is taking out smaller particles. And the filters are trapping dirt of different sizes, the sediment. And the purpose of those two filters trapping the dirt is to protect the third stage, which is actually the carbon. Carbon can't work well if it's dirty. So you're trying to keep the carbon clean so it could have direct contact with the water and not have a slime or dirt coating on the carbon particles. To give you an idea, I brought with me a picture. I don't know if it's going to show here too well. You can see a new filter and a one that's come out after about 9 months. It's supposed to get changed about every 26,000 gallons. And that brown you see on that filter is the sediment. There's also in the water microplastics. Microplastics, our filter is one of the few filters made that can actually remove those particles, which are basically particles of plastic that are now airborne throughout the entire world, but they find themselves in water districts all over the world. So it takes care of those too.
Okay.
You can't test water in a house because the people that test water in the house are basically using drops of chemicals, and there's no accuracy or reliability in them whatsoever. If you want to know your water quality, you could simply go to the water authority. You could go to the Villages Water or the Jacobs Water and get their annual report. It'll tell you the real numbers, and those will be laboratory level tests. But to answer your question, we offer the whole house filter as your primary filter, and the softener is a secondary filter. And in some cases, in some households, it's what the customer wants. They don't want to deal with the spotting at all. They want to deal with more soap suds in the shower. But in reality, you're going to increase that to some degree with the filter alone, because you're just removing the sediment out of the water. The filter is not going to remove sediment. The filter is not going to remove calcium, okay? The calcium is a mineral that passes right through. However, on the other hand, a softener isn't going to purify the water. A softener only removes calcium and magnesium. So there's a lot of people here that have sold a water softener as a whole house filter and a water softener. And there's no such thing. Chlorine and impurities are going to pass right through a water softener if there's not a filter involved. So we also can offer people that aren't sure, that are sitting on the fence, we could offer them the whole house filter to start. And if they're not 100% satisfied down the road, we could add the softener at a later time. And from an investment point, that helps people too. They don't have to spend all the money up front. Approximately half our customers north of 44 have a softener, and about 75% of our customers south of 44 have a softener. Some people like yourself, you have the whole house water filter and no softener. And I know you're satisfied with it because you have it several years. So it's individual wants, needs, and taste.
Another question here says, what makes the water south of 44 so hard?
It's just the aquifer. The aquifer has a higher level of calcium in it. I don't know the reason. I mean, it's all coming from a limestone base, but it's just harder. If you go all over Florida, in fact, you go all over the United States, the hardness changes every couple of miles. I don't mean couple of miles, but every,
We're gonna have to move on so this show don't go 3 hours. And I appreciate you coming on as a guest. You answered a whole lot of questions, a whole lot more. We never get to all the questions, but you answered a whole lot. So if you want to give your phone number or your
Bob.
Bye, Bob.
Sounds that right.
Bye, Bob.
Okay. Hey, Bob, it's good to have you on here. See ya. Hey, we're going to get ready to play a game. So everybody out there, start your pick me's. Everybody pick a player to play. This is going to be a game we've never played. I made it up. We're going to play.
Family Feud?
Yeah, we're going to play the feud.
That's why it's great to be seen, even with Skip Smith.
Stop it. Stop it. I can't take your flattery anymore. All right. Are we ready? I wrote down the top 3 answers to any of these questions. You give me an answer to a question. If it's one of those top 3, you win.
Yeah.
Understand?
Mm-hmm. Capiche.
Okay. Question 1. If you were blindfolded, you could still recognize your better half by feeling what?
Ding, 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 ding.
Linda?
His hands.
Pardon me? Wait a minute. Where's my button?
Her hand, the hand.
Wait a minute. I got to get my buttons.
They did that on the phone. Ding, 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 ding.
Melody?
The face.
That's one of them.
They did like that.
Ding, ding.
Top 3 answers just for your own thing there was face, breasts, and hiney.
I was going to say chest, and you didn't give me a chance.
You went first. Number 2. This over here. This was 100 women was questions. Name something most men don't do as well as they think they do.
Ding, 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 ding.
Melody?
Drive.
Loaded question, loaded.
Oh.
I got it.
Ding, 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 ding.
Sue?
Cook.
Ding, ding, ding. Clean,
Deb?
clean the house. Do something.
Ding, 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 ding.
Linda?
Pee in the toilet. Ding, ding, ding.
I'm getting a side ache.
Melody.
Oh, Lord. Melody.
Can I say like golf or sports? Would that be in
Well,
one?
it's wrong no matter what you say. Now remember, this is 100. They questioned 100 women
It's
to
about
ask them this stuff.
I'll bet you $10.
Name something most men don't do as well as they think they do.
Ding, 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 ding.
Melody.
Sex.
God,
There you go. That's right.
You can tell how much of that the rest of us have.
Oh,
Sugar on my tongue says everything.
you know what? They had asked the ages of these people because we value the cooking, the housekeeping, the putting the peeing in the toilet. If you were younger, you cared about that sex.
I can see what your top 4 considerations are.